Hey, welcome back to the Movie YouTube channel. My name is Lo. You are watching the Movies Make TV TV draft post game show. I want to welcome everybody watching. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that drafted. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. We're so good.
You know, surviving.
We're gonna roast Ryan now, so we're good.
I just want to say, I wasn't sure how this was going to play out. I wasn't sure if we were going to play this serious and just go like Breaking Bad, The Wire, The Shield, Sopranos, all like serious dramas. But I love that we mixed in some animation, we mixed in some variety. And without further ado, let's dig into the teams. First on the board, due to some like last minute shuffling, we had Ryan H. He went Game of Thrones round 1. He went The Wire, which is obviously an amazing drama on FX. Rick and Morty, groundbreaking animation, I should say. Arrested Development, The Haunting of Hill House, and I am so sorry I did not put your 6th pick. What was your 6th pick, Ryan H?
The Umbrella Academy.
Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. So I missed the Umbrella Academy, but with that being said, what do you think of how your team played out, and how would you grade your own team?
I'm actually ecstatic that I got some of the picks that I did. Game of Thrones and The Wire were into play for a second overall pick if I had it. Moved up to 1. Decided to make a gamble with Game of Thrones, saying, hey, it's the best production, sound, everything. It set the bar, I believe, for a lot of other TV shows and down the road. The Wire, to me, always holds a heart. Baltimore, drug scene, HBO, David Simon, it really just does an incredible job. And and then I decided to switch it up. I wanted to go Rick and Morty. I wanted to hit up the more modern animated. And the rest of my picks, I really felt like it was just nostalgia for me.
Excellent. He said The Wire is HBO and not FX. Okay, am I tripping? FX played reruns of The Wire, did they not?
They might have. It's an HBO show, though.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's an HBO show, but I just remember seeing commercial spread on FX. Ryan, what do you think of Ryan's team? Quick takes, hot takes, whatever you got, and just give it a quick grade.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't think anyone really has an awful team like some of us have had in the past. Joe, but you know what? That's not going to stop me from throwing shade, though. I'm sorry. But Game of Thrones was kind of one of those obvious picks, one of 3, I would think. So that's always a good one. I personally haven't seen The Wire. I know I need to. I've heard nothing but great things about it. I just started watching Rick and Morty. It's not one of those shows that I can personally watch over and over again, like back to back. I have to watch it in increments, but it's a really funny show. Arrested Development, I couldn't get into myself, but I know it has a big fan base, and I know it kind of picked up a little bit once Netflix picked it up and revived it for another season or 2. And The Haunting of Hill House, I know, has a nice little fan base, and I'm kind of shocked that this fell so far, seeing that a lot of Hill House fans are in this call. Out of everything, I'd give it an 8.5, 9.
Epic. Can I just say, I realized the reason why I didn't put Umbrella Academy is I was too busy singing, because I am also a My Chemical Romance fan. Shout out to Gerard Way. He wrote the comic for Umbrella Academy and helped run the show.
And now it's one of the best Netflix shows on earth. Fuck yeah.
Mr. Zach Galler. If you don't already, please subscribe to his channel. Zach is awesome. He's got a lot of great insight and knowledge. Zach, what do you got for us with Ryan H's team?
All right, look, Ryan, this is a really, really stacked team. Game of Thrones is a no-brainer. I still have not finished it, so if anybody spoils it on this call or in the comments, I will.
Tony Stark dies.
Hunt you down. No, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Tony of House Stark. Yeah. Truth be told, I haven't seen The Wire. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for that from everybody, but it's just not something I haven't gotten to it yet, man. Rick and Morty, though. Instant classic for sure. Hilarious. Arrested Development, I agree with Ryan. I couldn't really get into it as much. Hill House, though. Hill House is, I think, one of the steals of this draft. And if I sound like a broken record saying the word steal, I'm sorry. But that is a great pick. I would have picked that myself if it fell into my lap, but you vultured it away from me, my friend. Good job. The Umbrella Academy, great show as well. 8.5.
So
Stack.
I'm like staring at the screen. It hurts my heart that the 6 is empty. It's like killing me. But
Hurts my
formal
heart, too.
review. If you guys don't know, this guy's awesome as well, an awesome critic, and he's got a lot of great thoughts himself. Follow him at the Formal Review on Twitter. How are you doing, Formal? And let us know, what do you think of Ryan's team?
I'm good. I have to agree. Also, it's not anyone here, I think, picked a bad team. I have obviously my preferences of stuff, and from that angle, the only one that I personally really like out of this is Game of Thrones, even though with the ending, but that's all I'll say on that because I know I'm not spoiling it. But
Thank you.
We
don't talk about
guys, bro.
We don't talk about that.
But The Wire, I know it's good. I'm just not into it. I know that. Rick and Morty, not my cup of tea. Arrested Development, I just can't stand that show. But I know there's a following for it. Same thing with Hill House.
Alone, actually.
But Umbrella Academy, I just haven't watched yet, so I can't speak to that yet. But I would say 8.5.
Okay, pretty solid so far. And we got Joe in the house. How are you doing, man? And what do you think of Ryan's team?
Oh, I'm next. I zoned out for a second.
I miss Gabe. Where's Gabe at? I really need him to roast my team.
Bro, don't worry. He's silently doing it right now.
I just wanted to say that me not watching Game of Thrones and The Wire is my greatest shame as a television fan. I am sorry, but I do want. I'm still going to give you a 9 for 2 reasons. One, because Rick and Morty is still one of the greatest cartoons of all time, and 2, Arrested Development is my favorite comedy series of all time. Pissed that you picked it, but you deserve a 9 for those 2 alone. So good job.
Woo! Look at that. Somebody average this score. Ryan's got a solid team. Amanda, how would you grade it?
You have Game of Thrones, man. It's a phenomenal show. Every single week, people would tune in. Twitter would go crazy. It's one of the best shows of all time. I know The Wire is supposed to be really good. I haven't gotten around to seeing that. Don't really like Rick and Morty. I always get Arrested Development and Curb Your Enthusiasm mixed up. Have no idea why. I don't know why, but it's the truth. Haunting of Hill House is stunning. I love Mike Flanagan. I love that show. I haven't watched Umbrella Academy either, but based off of Game of Thrones and my love for The Haunting of Hill House, I'll give you an 8 out of 10, man.
Nice. All right, Dives, bring us home, man. What do you think of Ryan H's team?
All right. I am terrible with TV shows. I've never seen Arrested Development. I've never seen Rick and Morty, even though I fully recognize those 2 are top of the top. Those are top-notch shows when it comes to a following. People love those to death. I can speak on Game of Thrones, The Wire, and The Haunting of Hill House, and the Umbrella Academy. Game of Thrones, I don't think we're ever going to see that again. Let's not talk about season 8. It never happened. The Wire is pound for pound. Probably the biggest steal of the draft to go in the second round. Crazy. I'm really excited to see how people vote for The Wire. That's my only take on that. And The Haunting of Hill House, I said in the comments, one of my favorite shows on Netflix. I actually didn't like Bly Manor, but The Haunting of Hill House was just incredible. I love a good slow burn, and this just had so much character development and heart and passion in the TV show. Umbrella Academy, Ryan, we did some pods.
Yeah, dude, we did a few episode reviews, dude. I love the Umbrella Academy. Me and you geeked out about it when it first dropped and the week before, dude. It's absolutely fucking awesome. I love the show so much.
So I think what Ryan has going for himself is amazing characters. Game of Thrones, amazing characters. The Wire, amazing character development. Rick and Morty, amazing characters. Can't speak on Arrested Development. Umbrella Academy's, whether you like it or not, has amazing characters. The Haunting of Hill House, same. So I'll give you a 9.
Thanks, brother.
Awesome, Dives. I'll also give you a 9, Ryan. I got to keep this show moving, but at the same time, I just want to say, I picked Sopranos just because of my adoration for James Gandolfini, but The Wire, in terms of acting, is right there. And
Young
Rick
Michael
and
B.
Morty
Jordan.
was on my list. I wasn't sure how highly people would rank it, but it's so deep in its philosophical thinking. Like, it's funny on the surface, but it digs so much deeper when you get into the writing and like the concepts of what the show is. So hats off for that. Go moving right along. We got Manda. You can follow her at AMX Anda Reviews.
Psych.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's okay.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, you can also follow her on Candid Cinema. She has her own website. She's awesome. She's a member of Geekly Goods, Movies Matrix. Amanda, how are you doing? Please tell us, how do you feel about this draft and what does this team mean to you and what would you grade it?
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I love all of the shows that I picked. I didn't really care about winning this time around. I just wanted to pick my favorite shows that got me through some tough times, my comfort shows. So yeah, I chose Friends because it is literally the funniest comedy out there. I don't care what anyone says. And it's also a comfort show of mine. I know every little thing about it. Big Little Lies was just a knockout of a first season. Didn't really like the season 2 that much, but it was a knockout with all of those amazing actresses. Supernatural, also just right in the feels. I love the show so much. I went to conventions. I met the actors. It was a pretty good time in my life. That 70s show, my uncle actually watched it with me, so it's kind of a personal choice as well. I shouldn't have watched it at the age that I watched it at, but, you know, I had a lot of questions, like when they were in the circle, smoke, I had no idea, and then I watched it again on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, that's what they were doing. I got it.
Yeah.
And Gossip Girl is just got me through high school. That show is just filled with drama. And then Sex and the City is also a comfort show. So I'm going to give myself, as per usual, a 10 out of 10.
Hey, well done, Manda. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen every single episode of Friends, but I'm like the kind of person that like I won't tell you that I like Friends, but if you like it, I can like drop knowledge and just be like, oh.
Yeah.
I want to say what's up to Chris Coyle. He said, Ozark wasn't picked. So many good shows out there.
Yeah.
He's also said this might be the hardest draft. There's so much content. And you're right, Chris. Like, we easily could have picked 8 shows each, and we could have filled this whole draft full of great shows.
This shit would have gone way too long, bro. I got a bedtime.
Hey, with that being said, hey, Batnips, you got any hot takes on Manda's team? What would you grade it?
Of course he does.
Oh,
Let's get out of
God.
here. Bro, Friends, the only no, that's way too far. Okay, so Friends is less superior than most sitcoms. Big Little Lies, haven't watched it, but I heard exactly what Amanda said. The first season was phenomenal, but the second one really dropped off. Supernatural, I was super into the show until around season 8, then I dropped off because back in season 8, that's when the show was starting to like get canceled. And then it progressively kept going for whatever reason. So Supernatural does have a sweet spot for me too. That 70s show, you gotta love it. That also has a sweet spot. Waking up in the middle of the night sometimes, Nick and Night just going on in the background. You get fucking everyone sitting in that circle, smoking weed, talking shit. You know, it's always great times. Bro, I'm not even gonna say the names of the next 2 shows because I absolutely despise them. So simply because you put I'm going to give you a -2 out of 10.
Damn. That.
We don't
Bro,
even
Sarah
negative
Jessica
points
Parker?
here, Ryan. But anyways, down to Mr. Zach Goller. What do you think
All right.
of Amanda's team? Hot takes only, and what do you grade it?
Yeah. All right. Look, I'm not going to be as mean as Ryan because that was a given, you know. I will give this show a set. Not this show. But what am I saying? This team gets a 7 for me, I think. She vultured Friends away from me in the first round. I was expecting it to fall to the second round, honestly, just judging from who was in this chat. And then Amanda swoops in and like takes it away from me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
But it is the hot take, the best sitcom of all time. Better than Seinfeld, better than How I Met Your Mother, better than all that shit that we'll get into. And I do have a hot take. Someone did take my least favorite sitcom of all time, and I'll be sure to roast them later on. But Big Little Lies, you started off this draft really strong. Big Little Lies, Supernatural, that 70s show explains itself. I'm gonna go with Ryan on the Gossip Girl and Sex in the City, though.
Guys suck.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Dookie. 7.
Rude.
Epic. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna get mine out. I was gonna wait till the end. I'm gonna get mine out right now because I'll be fast. But look, don't hear what I'm not saying. Like, I grew up on Friends. My sister was crazy about it. She bought all the DVDs. We watched it together, the full DVD set. But if I'm being honest, I think maybe it's my age, but I related more to How I Met Your Mother.
Great.
And I hate that I didn't pick it, but at the same time, I enjoyed it more than Friends. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Overall, though, I don't know your team well enough to give you a grade, Mandev, but I did love Friends, and I think that 70 show is great. So based off those two alone, I would roughly give you like an 8-ish number. But anyways, let's move on to Ryan H. Hot takes only. What do you think of Amanda's squad?
Looking at Amanda's squad, I've realized that I don't have on my team shows that you can just sit down and after a long day and just watch. And I think Amanda does have that. That 70 show to me is a knockout pick in the 4th round. I love that show. I was never a big Friends fan, growing up, throughout the 90s and 2000s. But I recognize the iconic nature of it. I know Big Little Lies is so popular, so relevancy, I think you picked based upon that. I'll defend her with Sex and the City. I think that is an iconic show. I think it's something that set a standard for maybe a lot of females to have that show to watch. So I'm going to overall give it 7.5.
Thank you.
Nice. Overall, it's rounding out well. Formal, what do you think of Amanda's team? Hot takes only. What is a grade?
All right, so I'm going to start off with the grade. I'm going to say an 8 here too, but I'm going to go quick. And I like the shows that I've seen, but I will say these. Friends, unrealistic given New York City prices. No way in hell that happened. Big Little Lies, I haven't seen. Supernatural, I haven't seen. That 70 show, I'm from Minnesota. It takes place in Wisconsin. I don't like it for that reason. Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl. Never really watched it. Sex in the City. I get why it's important, but I will say that the movie, when I tried to watch it, put me to sleep. So that's all I got.
Wait, what'd you rate this?
An 8 because I'm amazing.
Hey, can I say I didn't even know Gossip Girl had a movie, y'all. I want to shout out Todd because Todd founded Movies Matrix and he lives in Minnesota. So shouts out to Minnesota, y'all. Joe, real quick, hot takes. What would you grade Amanda's team?
9.
Yes.
Epic. Wait, Joe, you got no hot takes for us? Nothing?
I mean, have you seen his list?
I actually
Okay.
I do have a hot take. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Gossip Girl's not that good." I kind of think it is. It's one of the best kinds of shows that it is. It's the standard. It's like the Breaking Bad of overly dramatic drama shows on the CW.
That's a compliment.
Okay.
All right.
Hearing that makes me
Friends is
feel
on
like
the
Michael when he finds out Toby is back.
God. Any hot takes, and what would you grade Amanda's team?
Oh, goodness.
I've only seen 50% of these shows. Sex and the City is terrific. I don't care what anyone says. Set the standard there. It was just so iconic. That 70s show, Mr. Foreman, swift kick in the ass. Like, who did not love him saying that every single week? It was a
Red's the best.
Love Red.
Never saw Big Little Lies. Never saw Gossip Girl. My wife here is like, yes!
That's the call I got too.
Friends is terrific. I was going to take that possibly in the 2nd round because that just has this like continuation power. People still love it. So it's just got a huge demographic. And lastly, Supernatural. I never saw it. We have someone that writes reviews on that, and it gets an immense amount of clicks. So let's go an 8.5.
Hey, you know what? To put a bow on this, congratulations, Amanda. Again, you had the most viewed article on moviesmatrix.com from your review of the Supernatural season finale or series finale, I should say.
Yeah,
How dare you say season finale?
Thanks.
All right, so that being said, we spent 10 minutes on each round. We got to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be quick. I will grade it right now. Team Zach, You had Breaking Bad, Cobra Kai, Simpsons, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Bates Motel. And oh my lord,
And
I just
Survivor.
hated this. What was your
Survivor.
sixth pick?
Survivor.
The reality show. I'm gonna be honest. I love Simpsons. Treehouse of Horror got me through a lot of my childhood. Like that one episode alone was just so wonderful to me. I'm a big horror fan, and Cobra Kai is wonderful. Breaking Bad, I would have picked if it would have fell to me. Of course, it didn't. Cinematic glory on the television screen. Thank you, AMC. I'll give you a 9, sir. Ryan, what do you think?
Thank you.
Hot takes only. What's your grade?
Breaking Bad's great. Cobra Kai is great. The Simpsons was great until they made a ride at Universal. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is fantastic. Bates Motel, I should probably go back and watch the final 2 seasons because
So good.
I always forget the guy that plays Bates. He's such a good actor. But
It's Freddie
Highmore.
Freddie
Highmore, yeah. But
Freddie
overall,
Highmore.
I give this an 8.5 out of 10, bro. I love it.
Thank you.
But
You
fuck
know-
you for stealing Infinity War.
The past is in the past. That's all water under the bridge.
Now it is.
The
Yeah.
Simpsons ride is amazing. You're crazy, Ryan. You need a stick in the ass.
Right?
Hey, Zach, break it down, man. How do you feel about your team, and what would you grade it?
You know, I feel great about my team. I mean, I would just say 10 out of 10, but I mean, I don't really, that's up to everybody else to decide. So I don't know if like grading myself is like, I don't know how comfortable I feel doing that personally, just because I'm my own my own worst critic. I don't know how many people. Oh, the tribe has spoken, Chris. Yeah, that's exactly why. That last pick, I was volleying back and forth. Like in my head, just over those last couple minutes there, and like I was really close to. Man, the chat's gonna blow up. I was this close to picking Drake and Josh, but I mean, I already have a sitcom on my list, so like it was gonna be a ballsy pick regardless, but. I don't know. I mean, I just went best show available. I think Breaking Bad was a no-brainer. Number 1, though. And I was very happy it fell to me. Thank you, Amanda.
100%, man. Wait, so what was your overall grade for yourself?
I mean, I'd just say 10 out of 10. So.
Okay.
As you
Right.
should.
Right. Any difference of thought?
I think it's Breaking Bad was in the running for number 1 for me, first overall. Went a different route. I think that Cobra Kai is incredible. I think a little soap opera-y this season, and maybe picked a little too high, but you made up for it with Simpsons in the 3rd round. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, great show. And the other 2 I never watched. So I'm going to go 7.5.
All
right. Formal. What do you think of Zach's team? Hot takes only. What's the grade?
Grade, I would say 8.5. Breaking Bad, we all know it's great. I'm not going to speak too much on that. Cobra Kai, it's good. I've yet to I like it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not up there for me. Simpsons, I can't stand that show. So
Whoa! That's a spicy
I
take.
told you once they made the ride at Universal, bro.
right.
I don't get attached to the yellow people. It just doesn't work for me.
For kids.
Yeah.
And
There's a really bad joke there somewhere.
yeah, oh no, dude,
You know
that was
what? Hey,
there's a really
hey, bring us home. What did you think of Bates Motel?
And Bates Motel, I didn't get into it, but I know it's good. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, my fiance's into it. She thinks it's really funny. I like the captain in it. I think he's hilarious. Everyone else,
Captain Holt. You gotta love Captain Holt. I love the representation also.
Hey, that
great.
guy is awesome. Awesome. All right, Joe. Hot takes only. What's the grade for
hashtag
Zach?
no regrets.
Breaking Bad is the greatest TV show of all time. No questions asked. Haven't seen
Yes.
Cobra Kai. I will eventually. The Simpsons is Simpsons. What else can you say about it? Not really into Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Yo,
for a
what?
specific
Depressing.
for a specific reason, because almost everyone I know who likes the show is a terrible person. So
Oh.
Damn, dude, that hurt my New York City pride a little bit. God,
Ow.
I'm sorry.
wow, okay.
Yeesh. Hey, I like that show too, Joe. Dang.
Damn, bro. Fuck. Now I
Okay.
know where our social
Anyways, Miss
standings are.
Amanda from the 6. I know what that is now. What is your hot takes and what is your grade?
So Zach, you've come such a long way. And I'm so proud of you for picking this amazing team. I honestly think that you're gonna win it, my dude. You have a variety. Literally, you have such a strong variety. You hit almost like all the fan bases on Twitter. And I know that Twitterverse. Trust me, I know it. Okay, so
you know the Survivor
yes,
Twitterverse?
Survivor's massive on there, and I adore Survivor, and it was a ballsy move, and I'm glad that you took it. I'm gonna give you a 9.5 out of 10, man. I think you're gonna win this.
Thank you.
You're
Wow.
epic.
Don't
So
jinx
epic.
it.
Dobbs, bring us home
That's
real
some
quick.
big
Hot
dick
take.
energy.
What's the grade? Is Zach as good as everyone so far has said? Because he's grading really high right now.
Can't speak on Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Survivor. Never watched it. Amazing character development here between Breaking Bad, Cobra Kai, and Bates Motel. I give you a 9.
Thank you. Wow.
Epic.
Oop.
And I'm not
You
gonna
guys are
say it 'cause it's not
flattering me.
official. I have like the mildest case of OCD, so I hate the fact that I didn't complete all of this. You know what happened is I didn't save the draft that I had, and it's saving like an old draft that only had 5 picks on some of you guys. I'm so sorry. Anyways, this next team is mine. I didn't think I was gonna pick this early, but we had some shuffling of the order. I apologize in advance because I feel like sketch comedy is a little bit of a trump card, but when we opened the gates to take anything, I figured Saturday Night Live and In Living Color was no-brainers from the talent involved. The Walking Dead and Sopranos and Queen's Gambit were just movies on the TV screen, if I'm being honest. X-Men is like one of the greatest cartoons besides Batman the Animated Series that you can get from a comic book medium to children. Like the fact that they can break Days of Future Past and the bigotry against the mutants for children to understand, I think is something that some people just don't realize. And I want to thank all the showrunners of X-Men Animated Series and everyone that was involved. That was awesome. So Ryan, what do you think of my team, man? Let me hear it. I want to hear whatever you got for me, man.
I don't want to destroy your hopes right now.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
We spoke about this pre-show. I live in New York City, and I've never watched an entire episode of SNL. I've also
Boo
never.
this man.
Wait for it. You're gonna boo me even more. I've never watched a single scene of The Sopranos. Yeah.
He's not John Cena. Stop booing him.
I grew up
We
on
can
the
see
X-Men.
him.
I grew up on the X-Men animated series, so I got much love for that. You got me there. The Walking Dead, I fucking love up until Negan came. After that, it became a dead horse. And I know the fan base is really split, so I'm really curious to see what that pick is going to do for you. I haven't watched Queen's Gambit, and I haven't watched In Living Color. So if I had to grade it off my knowledge, I wouldn't grade it. But if I had to base it off Twitter, I'd give it at least a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
So-
Thank you for your honesty, Bat Nipples. I didn't give myself a grade. I'll stay humble. I'll just give myself an 8.
You've never
but
watched any of his shows.
just know mine is
I'll give
Golden
myself
Girl.
an 8.
It's stolen from me. This list is near and dear to my heart, but I'll give it an 8. Zach, what do you got for me? Hot takes? How did I do? What's the grade?
So, real quick, just for the record, thank you for your honesty. Bat nipples is one of the greatest sentences I've ever heard in my life. So, thank you. So I don't really need to speak on Saturday Night Live. I love that shit so much. It's hilarious. The Sopranos speaks for itself. Haven't really seen the X-Men animated series, if I'm being honest, because I mean, I've just got other shit to watch. The Walking Dead. Yeah, I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead when it first came on. That was appointment viewing with my dad and my brother. Like, no joke. But again, I agree with Ryan. Once Negan came, the showrunners put in a cliffhanger that didn't need to be a cliffhanger, and then it fell off a cliff. So, again, I don't know how well that's going to play with Twitter. But Queen's Gambit, still haven't seen, and Living Color, still haven't seen. Just based off what I know, 7.5.
Thank you, Zach. I gotta say, man, we have a lot of similar tastes in terms of films and stuff. You gotta see Queen's Gambit, man.
I know.
It's really well written. It's very cinematic in its approach. Ryan H., what you got for me? Hot takes? What's the grade?
Well, I think the hot take for you is whether or not people have watched the older SNL skits, which is what makes SNL really, really good. I don't know if nowadays it's considered good. Sopranos in the second round is an incredible grab. Walking Dead got stale for me after a while. I'm sure everybody else can agree to that. Yeah, I think it comes down to whether or not people have seen The Sopranos and seen, SNL back when I believe it was at its lore with, Will Ferrell, with Jimmy Fallon, with everybody, Chris Rock, everybody. So I'm going to go with 7 overall.
Yeah, man. Hey, R.I.P. Chris Farley and Phil Hartman. Oh my God, Phil Hartman was amazing, and R.I.P. Phil Hartman. I just want to say hella fast, like, speaking to the Walking Dead thing, I get it fell off a cliff. I get that, but it's just like it was so good when we started, and everybody was into it, at least in the first season, at least. Formal, what you got for me, man? Hot takes.
All right, I'm gonna say 9. But when it comes to SNL, I agree. It has to do with how much the older stuff is, because that stuff's definitely the better stuff. There is some still good stuff now, but it's not as good for sure. Sopranos, I missed the ball on that. I haven't watched all of it. Nothing against it though. X-Men, you touched on it when you picked it. The theme song is iconic for sure. Walking Dead, I was zombied out pretty much before the show dropped, and then I just didn't watch it because of that. Queen's Gambit, haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things based on Twitter, and Living Color is a great show again. So, but it has the older stuff. That's why I will say 9, because all of it's based on if Twitter has seen it.
All good. I'll go. Joe, what you got for me, man? Hot takes. What's the grade?
I know everyone keeps saying The Walking Dead fell off, but I personally think it still was a little good when Negan came in. I still watched it. I also think it's still the greatest comic book show of all time. It's not close, in my opinion, either. SNL and In Living Color are the 2 greatest sketch comedy shows of all time. I've only seen a little bit of episodes of The Sopranos, but I still love it. X-Men the Animated Series, Mount Rushmore of superhero shows. So this is actually, no, I'm going to change my ranking, my rating. You're going to get a 10.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. And Chris Coyle said, this team might be living in a van down by the river. Oh, man.
And
Hey, RIP Chris Farley. Holy moly, man.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like the sketch shows were a little bit of a trump card, but we opened the gates. We let it happen. Manda, what do you got for me? Hot takes? What's the grade?
Listen, you have SNL. I grew up with the Sandman cast, and then I fell in love with it. I was there with like Fallon and Faye and like Polar. Like they were just all amazing. SNL is a soft spot, man. You stole my people from me, though, with The Sopranos. Okay? You stole my people. I'm mad. The Italian was supposed to take it. I'm very upset. No, but seriously, Sopranos is a masterpiece. I love it so much. Your team is solid. I haven't seen X-Men the Animated Series, never cared for The Walking Dead, but I know it's going to do extremely well on Twitter. So I'm going to give you an 8 out of 10.
Thank you, Miss Amanda. Can I just say real quick, I didn't think Sopranos was leaving the first round, so I couldn't pass it up. And same for The Walking Dead. I feel like after the third round, it's like it was a steal. Like, sure, the later seasons wasn't great, and I was mad when X and X so-and-so died, and I stopped watching, but it's okay. It's okay. Dives, bring us home. Hot takes. What's the grade?
Dude, I gotta say, like, after that Christmas movie draft, like, during the post-game show, you remember, man, like, we usually have the same taste, and I was, like, floored at your team. I was like, that is the best team. You beat me in the final. You suck, by the way. And speaking of suck, so do I, because I've never seen The Sopranos. I've never seen Dead, and I've never seen The Queen's Gambit. So I don't know if I can give a fair grade to this. I love In Living Color. Grew up with that every single week. And Saturday Night Live, I loved it growing up, but I don't watch it anymore. It just completely fell off a cliff for me. You know my love for X-Men, the animated series. I'm not even going to go into that because we did a whole podcast on that. But I'll give you a 7.
Thank you, Dive. Hella fast. To anyone that likes In Living Color, 2 snaps up for my team. And anybody that hasn't seen The Queen's Gambit or even the first season of The Walking Dead or The Sopranos, please, guys, check it out. HBO Max, Netflix, whatever you got to do. AMC, the channel on Amazon Prime. Check it out, you guys. It's really good. At least the first season. Check it out.
On it.
I've definitely
Next
played more
up,
chess since Queen's Gambit.
We got Joe, Cowboy Bebop, representing for the anime peoples. Better Call Saul, spinoff of the Breaking Bad, SpongeBob SquarePants, Nickelodeon, Halt and Catch Fire, Golden Girls. I was so heartbroken. I'm not going to get into that right now. Frasier. You know, I'm gonna be honest, man. You got Golden Girls on there, and Better Call Saul is a spin-off of Breaking Bad, which was pretty much almost on the same level of show quality. SpongeBob, I didn't grow up with, but I appreciate it. Patrick is my freaking spirit animal because he's so clueless. I'll give your squad an 8. Ryan, what you got? Hot takes? What's the grade?
Bro, this whole list is the hot take. I don't have to say it. That's all I'm gonna say. Cowboy and Bebop, I haven't seen it, but I know it's a relatively popular anime, and Netflix is making a live action with that. Or if it's canceled, I don't fucking know what they're doing with their shows anymore. Haven't seen Better Call Saul. I know, hit me. I think SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the worst shows to ever exist.
Oh,
I absolutely despise SpongeBob, and they should burn him in hell.
wow.
I
Dang.
live,
Blasphemous.
bro.
To jail.
So mean.
But it's for the
SpongeBob-
children.
No, bro, fun for children. This was not fun for children, bro. Literally, I felt like I wanted to be Sandy and just take off my helmet while I was underwater. That's how I felt every
What is the
time.
grade, sir?
Bro, anyway, Halt and Catch Fire. I gotta say, I haven't watched it myself, but I have a few friends that have watched it and said it is pretty good. So I think you got that going for you. The Golden Girls is where you start to tumble a little bit, man. It doesn't matter what we think at the end of the day. I don't know enough Twitter has actually seen a single episode of this show. So I don't know if it's going to play in your favor or not. I don't think it is. And the same thing goes for Frasier. I haven't watched the entire series because it's fucking long, but I've watched a lot of the episodes and I think it's funny, but I also don't know how many people even know that it's actually a spinoff of Cheers, let alone its own show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
that's how I see it. So if I give it a 5 out of 10, man.
Jesus. All right, Film Nerd card mildly given back because of a Cheers reference, but there will be no Golden Girls slander on this show. Zach Goller, grade this team, hot takes only. What's good?
All right. I'm just going off of what I know. I'm just going to give this a 7. I would not have taken Cowboy Bebop in the first round. I know there's a fan base out there. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really speak on that one, but Better Call Saul, great show. I disagree with Ryan heavily. I will go to bat for SpongeBob every day of the week. I grew up with that shit.
Everyone
It
agrees
is
with you about that.
aside from Friends, it is the most quotable show on this entire draft. Like I could just make an inside joke about SpongeBob like to any one of my interior friend base and they'll know what I'm talking about. Halt and Catch Fire haven't seen. Golden Girls have not seen, and Lowe is going to trash me for that, I'm sure. Frasier, that was a steal in the last round, my friend. So
Damn.
you get a 7.
So, look, I don't even watch SpongeBob, but I know about the hash slinging, the help me out, Zach.
Hash
Yeah,
slinging,
the
dash
hash
bashing,
slinging
Slinging
slasher.
slasher.
some dumb bullshit, bro. I
There
can't
you
deal
go.
with it.
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
First round, this is not an
Okay,
instrument either.
Ryan H, what you got for us? Hold up. No, this is Patrick. Okay, Ryan H, what you got for us?
Well, I gotta say, I'm going to comment on strictly SpongeBob and Frasier due to that fact that those are the ones I know the most. I'll defend SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob is iconic. I think if you look back, Low and Dibler, to when we were growing up, I think you would look at Ren and Stimpy. I think you would look at Pinky and the Brain, Doug. So those are the types of, if that's nostalgic to JR, then that's nostalgic to him. I thought about picking Sesame Street in the 6th round if we were getting really, into it.
Yeah.
But I will admit I love the Frasier pick at the very end because I think there is a fear to go too much into the past. Cheers would have been there for me. I think Frasier obviously is the clutch one. So I don't think I can give this a grade, but I do have a lot of respect for the list.
Epic. Formal, what's your grade? Any hot takes?
I would say 7. Cowboy Bebop haven't seen. Better Call Saul I've seen a bit. It's good, I know, but I haven't watched all of it. SpongeBob SquarePants, I understand the iconic aspect to it, but frankly, it's the Frozen of TV shows. It's annoying. I don't like it, but I get why
Oh,
people do.
Damn.
You can't diss Frozen.
What?
That's Ryan's favorite movie. You can't.
well,
diss-
you can diss Frozen 2 all you want, but first one is good.
All right. Hey, Chris Coyle says, Ryan, watch Cowboy Bebop. He thinks you would love it.
And
Which
Frasier
Ryan?
is one of the best spin-off shows of all time.
Hey,
I
Joe.
will say that. I'm surprised Cheers wasn't selected in this, but Frasier, I like that pick a lot.
Hey, shouts out Woody Harrelson, Ted Danson, y'all, Kirstie Alley, the Cheers crew. I appreciate it. This draft was so hard. I was flustered almost every round. Joe, real quick, how do you feel about your team? What's your grade for yourself?
I'm gonna go the Zach route. I'd give my team a perfect score because every single the reason I lose each of these is because I don't think strategically. I just go from the heart. I pick things that I really enjoy. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime. Better Call Saul and Halt and Catch Fire were very personal because I'm not going to get into it. It's very emotional. No one wants to hear that, but they're very important. SpongeBob is my favorite cartoon of all time. The Golden Girls, I grew up with it. It also reminds me a lot of my aunt, who sadly passed away last year. She was a very Dorothy Spornak type of person. Love her to death. And Frasier is another show that I grew up with. I almost picked Cheers, but I forgot that I only had 6 and not 7. So after Frasier, I had no other options. So I like my team. I'm not going to win, but I do like my team.
Epic, Joe. I'm sorry to hear for your loss. Amanda, hot takes or grade, real quick. What you got for us?
I respect you for picking your comfort shows for shows that are very personal to you. I think that's what television is all about. You just love these characters and you watch them every single week. So I respect that. But I am so sorry, dude. I absolutely hate Frasier. It's just like, it's so boring. I couldn't sit through it, and I'm really sorry. I am. SpongeBob is my childhood, so I'll give you kudos on that. I haven't seen The Golden Girls. Do not kill me, but it's on Amazon Prime. I will start watching it. But I will give you a 6 out of 10, Joe. Don't
Hey,
kill me.
Amanda, you're like this close from getting like a vow of silence from me until you watch Golden Girls. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
That-
Guys, bring
that's
us home, man. Quick grades, hot takes. What you got?
This one's tough because I haven't seen any of them. Look, Cowboy Bebop, Better Call Saul, SpongeBob SquarePants. I work with kids. Those kids love it. I never watched it here and there. Halt and Catch Fire, I'd never heard of until tonight. The Golden Girls is, iconic. Betty White, rest in peace. And then Frasier, I actually
Not
watched
dead,
it.
dude.
She's not dead, man.
Not dead. I thought she was dead.
Oh,
It's your
she ain't
birthday
dead.
today.
Whoa,
It's
I
your
literally
Oh, I
said
thought
it
you
was
said
her
it was
birthday.
No.
Audible groan. Dives, bring us home. What's the score?
Score is a 6, and thank you for picking from your heart, man. But Frasier is, I don't think people are voting for Frasier.
Long live Betty White. I love her with all my heart. Formal review in the house. Like I said on the previous draft show, follow him at the Formal Review. This guy's awesome. Got a lot of great insight. He's got Daredevil, Batman the Animated Series, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Boondocks, Chappelle Show, and The Last Dance. If you guys are into sports, that documentary just focusing on the Bulls and their dominance in the 90s, I think was really incredible. That was an underrated pick in my opinion. I will give you a 10. I'm gonna give you 10. Dude, Batman the Animated Series is one of the greatest animated things of all times. Forget film, forget TV. Batman the Animated Series is incredible. Daredevil, holy crap, incredible. The hallway sequence alone, even though it borrowed from Oldboy, amazing. Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, the entire cast is amazing. Chappelle Show speaks to my soul. I love Dave Chappelle. Ryan, hot takes. What's the grade?
I don't got too many hot takes. Daredevil, I found it odd for a first round pick. Maybe I could see a good second round pick there.
Really?
Switch that with Batman, maybe for first round. But I mean, you got them both anyway, so why does it really fucking matter at this point? Buffy is a great classic, but we all know Justice League made it nowadays. Never seen Boondocks. I think Chappelle Show is fucking hilarious. It's unfortunate that he didn't want the show on any streamers and asked them to take it down because I felt like more people should see it. Definitely the golden age of stand-up comedy, as I would put it. And I haven't seen The Last Dance, but I would give this a good 8, man. I think it's a solid list.
Hell yeah. And in terms of Dave Chappelle, pay the man because he is hilarious and he
Pay the man.
deserves his money. If you guys haven't seen his rant on YouTube or Netflix or whatever it is,
And watch his Netflix specials.
Look, Dave Chappelle speaks on about his money and why he feels he should get paid for those things. And Comedy Central, in my opinion, did him dirty. Chappelle's show, I support it. At the same time, you got to watch it where you can, which was what's unfortunate. Chris Coyle says, "Do not say that about Betty. It's her birthday. She is a fake." You better recognize
That's why she
it,
trends
man.
on Twitter every year.
You do not say it.
Yeah, bro.
Zach,
He's
what's up, Chris?
on
Hot
Twitter
take?
once a year about dying.
Zach Goller.
Yeah, I'm just going off of what I know. This is a 7.5 out of 10 list for me. Daredevil, I agree with Ryan. Odd choice in round 1. But I mean, I'm not disputing how awesome it is. Batman animated series speaks for itself. Chappelle's Show speaks for itself. Last Dance is really good, underrated documentary series. Don't kill me. I haven't seen Buffy, and I haven't seen the Boondocks either. So
Hey, that's okay. Joss Whedon has his own problems. And honestly, can I say the Boondocks is underrated? Like people haven't seen it, but it's honestly really funny if you give it a shot. What's the grade, Zach?
7.5.
Wait, do you guys want to hear
Not
a
bad.
joke real quick?
Hot takes. What's the grade?
Grade is going to be an 8.5. I do agree. Daredevil is a little bit high, but Batman animated series, incredible. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt were both my childhood heartthrobs. So Buffy, love it. Chappelle in 5th round, awesome pick. And The Last Dance, because I'm a huge basketball fan, it just really captured me and seeing Jordan and seeing all the players and the back of the scenes. So I appreciate a sports pick. So yeah, 8.5.
Nice. All right, Formal, just break it down really fast. How do you feel about what you drafted and what would you grade yourself?
I would say 9.5. Daredevil, I picked it first because honestly, I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. I wasn't sure if people were gonna go nerdy or not, so it fell to me, so I just picked it. And same thing with because as a show, I would say it's a better arc than Batman the Animated Series, just because it's a Saturday morning cartoon show versus like an actual like story. So, but no shade to Batman of the Animated Series. I'm a big Batman fan, obviously. Buffy, like I love watching that show. I rewatch it like every other year. It's fantastic. Boondocks, low. You said it already. Completely underrated. Like it says so much really societal commentary that it's just, I don't have any words for it. Chappelle's Show, like I said when I picked it, it's one of the goats of comedy. And yes, low pay. Last Dance. I mean, sports, man. Like, I think that's a good pick. And it's really like if you grew up in like the late 90s, early 90s, you know who Michael Jordan is. You know, he's the GOAT. This is like one of his like biggest accomplishments. And it's one of the biggest memes that have come out in 2020. You know, I took it personally. So that's at least a good thing, too.
Hell yeah, Formal. Honestly, I really like your pick, man. What would you grade yourself?
I said 9.5.
9.5? Okay. Joe, real quick. Hey, actually, I'm going to do all three of you real fast. Joe, Manda, Dibes, grades. And if you have a hot take, say it. Otherwise, what are the grades?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for him. I'm going to do 7.5 out of 10 because I've only seen the first 3, and they're pretty good.
Dibes?
I'll do an 8.5. Daredevil, Batman the Animated Series. Batman the Animated Series won me one of these drafts, so that is something to keep in mind. And Chappelle Show, you stole it from me. I was going to take it in the 5th round. And Last Dance, I'm exactly the people you just talked about. I grew up in the 90s. Last Dance, terrific. 8.5.
Hell yeah. And if I could just say, the Daredevil, in my opinion, I feel like it was worthy in the first round, at least at the end of it. After The Sopranos, after The Breaking Bads, after like, you know, all the other shows, I feel like Daredevil warranted that because of how good it was whether or not you liked it or not. I just feel like it was visceral. It was violent. Charlie Cox, Rosario
He's coming back
Dawson,
for a reason.
Vincent D'Onofrio, they were all great. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Come on, guys. That guy was
So good.
awesome. Awesome. Vincent D'Onofrio. Thank you. So without further ado, let's go to our next team. Mike, who's not with us at the moment, he picked The Office, The Mandalorian, and I hate that it got picked in the second round, but I just couldn't take it in the first. Full House, Family Guy, American Horror Story, and Jeopardy. All of our hearts and prayers. Best. Alex Trebek was amazing, so I'm glad that he did that. I'm glad somebody did that. I'll give this. I'm gonna be honest. American Horror Story, at least the first 2 seasons, was intense. Family Guy made me laugh. Full House was my childhood. The Mandalorian stole my heart. And The Office is like, you can watch it anytime with any person, anybody. And it's funny. It's fun. I will give this another 10. Thank you so much. Brian, hot takes. What's the grade?
Bro, negative.
Don't do it.
No, negative infinity, bro. Fucking negative infinity, bro. Straight up. But yo, Office, the best show to ever be produced in the fucking world, on this planet that anyone has ever touched. Bro, if Mike Schur touched my wall, I'd sell this shit for $100,000. That's how priceless The Office is, bro. The Mandalorian, I feel like he's gonna get a bunch of cookie points simply because it's in right now. I love the show. I think it's a great show, but I feel like it's a little blown up out of proportion for me personally. Full House, bro. I grew up on this show. I fucking love Full House. Daddy Danny, bro. Fucking hot Uncle Jess. Like, bro, how do you not know, bro? You don't even know their names. You just know them by their character types.
Hit that grade, brother.
Bro, Family Guy, I really never really too much liked, I'll be honest. I thought Stewie was the best part, and I think just Peter was just way too stupid. American Horror Story is, dude, it's way too hit or miss for me to want to consider. I mean, I did consider it with my Twilight Zone pick, but after thinking about it, this show is way too hit or miss. Some seasons are really good, and the other shows are just really shit. And Jeopardy is just one of those shows that my grandmother, my nan, had on before she passed away. Every night, me and her would just watch Jeopardy, Alex Trebek. And, bro, it's just one of those shows that everyone lived with, whether you liked it or not, bro. You were kind of forced to watch Jeopardy when you were younger. And it was a part of all of our lives. And to have Alex Trebek pass away just a few weeks ago. What?
Bring us home, Ryan.
Land the plane.
Okay!
Uh-oh.
Where'd he go?
Oh god.
Negative infinity.
Jesus, Ryan. Okay, 10 out of 10 from me. Zach, what do you got? Hot takes only. And what?
Yes, there's gonna be a hot take here, so everybody brace yourself. This
God.
list gets an 8. Mike, this list gets an 8. Mike, you started off really strong, my friend. The Office, instant classic, as Ryan would say. The Mandalorian is gonna get a lot of really almost cheap votes, but it's well warranted. It's a great show. But then in the third round, you went Full House. I fucking hate that show.
Whoa.
I cannot stand that shit. And you want to know why?
Yes.
The comedy baseline, not funny at all. And also, in terms of the story, nothing fucking happens.
I mean,
You understand
that goes
me?
for a lot of them.
Nothing happens in Full House. It's just people in picture
Family
frame.
Matters is
That's
better.
all it is.
Facts.
So that
Family
being
Matters.
said,
Facts.
It's a shame Family Matters didn't get drafted. But what's the grade, Zach?
8 out of 10. Last 3 speak for itself. Rest in peace, Trebek. But I'm disappointed, Mike. Full House sucks.
All right,
Oh my god.
Ryan H. Hot takes only
savage.
or grade. What's good?
Hot takes. I think for me, he has a lot of rewatchable shows, which may be really good. I'll agree. Full House, no. Family Matters all the way. Jeopardy was a solid pick. I am gonna give it an 8.
Epic. Formal. What you got for us? Hot takes only or just your grade? What's good?
7.5. There are 2 shows on this list that went too far, like just too many seasons. One is Family Guy. The other one's American Horror Story. It fell off after the second season. So that's it.
Hey, I agree. I hate to say it. Seth MacFarlane's brilliant, but at the same time, I don't even know if Family Guy should still be on television. But anyways,
It's just generic.
Nanda,
now.
I would have gone South Park over Family Guy every day of the week.
Nanda, Joe, Dives. I hate to clump you guys together, but we got to keep it moving. Hot takes only. If you don't got one, what's your grade? Go ahead, Joe.
The Office sucks. Not 8 out of 10.
What?
Bro, I'm kicking you off Movies Maker. Done.
Nanda.
I'm gonna give Mike 10 out of 10 because he stole The Office from Ryan. So
Nice. Nice.
You're out of your freaking mind, Zach. Full House is absolutely amazing.
I'm not out of my mind.
Even Fuller House is a great show.
I agree.
Bob is
Yeah.
incorrect in the comments. Fuller
Nine
House.
out of
is
10.
better.
And I oop.
All right.
Okay.
Fuck.
We
Fuller
got Ryan, Matt Nipples himself. Parks and Rec in the first, Stranger Things in the second, which was a steal in my opinion. The Boys, Avatar: The Last Airbender, which people won't give credit to, which I love. Twilight Zone, I freaking love it with all my heart. I hate that you stole it from me. Community, I think you got a lot of underrated picks, man. Ryan, what do you think of your team? What's the grade?
Bro, I can't tell you how undoubtedly pissed off I was that I couldn't get the Office, first of all. Second of all, Parks and Rec, I would say, is the second best to that in comedy form. Stranger Things, The Boys are just hot right now. The Boys just finished its second season, which was arguably better than the first. Everyone was talking about it. And Stranger Things just feels like gets better and better for a lot of people. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself right now because this is a hot pick. Avatar, more like Ava. Yeah, nope, that's not bad. But you know what? Avatar's a great, I lost my train of thought, animated TV show. I feel like it kind of got that push when it came on Netflix. Just want to say that. And I wanted to stick to my horror roots, so I chose The Twilight Zone. And I'm going to be honest, I know probably a lot of people might not have seen it, but I guarantee you a lot of people are just going to give me brownie points simply because it's The Twilight Zone. And a lot of people affiliate it, especially Jordan Peele, with where it gives a lot of horror roots from, including myself, because I root in horror. And Community, I adore. I absolutely love this show. I did another rewatch of it, and it's another show that got its boost when it went onto Netflix. So I'm not going to grade my team. I'm just going to say, fuck yeah.
Hey, out of respect for Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Airbender.
Avatar: The Last
Airbender.
Airbender, and Twilight Zone and Stranger Things alone, and the one episode I've seen the Community, I apologize to the community of Community.
Oh,
I get it.
depressing.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I've
Good.
only seen like 2 episodes, but I love it. So based on that alone, I'll give you a 9, Rye.
I'll take it.
Zach, hot takes. What's the grade?
There's no hot takes in this. I'm going 9 as well. Because this is a sleeper pick to take the whole thing. The only thing that's keeping it from being a perfect score for me, Rye, I haven't really seen Community, so I can't really speak on that. Twilight Zone was an absolute steal. The Boys was an absolute steal in round 3. You got a stacked team. You're going to be hard to beat on this vote, my friend.
And I oop.
I mean, it would have been a 10 out of 10 if Mike had not vultured The Office away from you.
Dude, I know. Don't start me right now.
Yeah.
You're going to get me heated.
I know.
Holy moly. You know what? Hey, shout out to our resident UK member from the Movies Matrix team. Sonny, I
No,
can
he said the last
confirm that I said
Asperger.
Airburger.
Sunny.
He said Asperger,
Sonny,
not Asperger.
I will
was-
say I said Airburger, and I'm sorry, Sonny.
Asperger.
You went Aussie there, bud.
Okay, you know what? I don't even know what accent I'm doing, but I went off the rails. Ryan H., what's the hot take? What's the grade? If you got it, what you got?
Yeah, Parks and Rec starting off is a great show. I think you went a little redundant by going last with Community in the last round. I think they're kind of both the same in my eyes, at least. Last Airbender, I had Legend of Korra on my list for just a random if I wanted to take it. Stranger Things for the music, great. I give you 9.
Nice. I appreciate it. Formal, what you got? Hot takes? If not, what's the grade?
8.5, mostly because there are 2 shows that I didn't finish. The Boys, wasn't interested. Avatar: The Last Airbender, when I first saw it, I thought it was wannabe anime. I get that people like it, but that's all I got from it. And then we got that. Then we all got that crap movie from it. So I'm gonna just knock it down for that reason.
Yeesh.
Twilight Zone, classic. Community, it showed us Donald Glover. So that's always a great thing about it. So
And
that's
say
why-
what you want about Chevy Chase, but he's fucking hilarious in Community. I'm sorry.
Hey man, Chevy Chase is part of my Saturday Night Live pick, but I don't talk about him. Anyways, Joe, Amanda, Dibes. I don't mean to clump you guys together, but it's just like
He
the
does.
fast way to do it. If you guys have a hot take, say it. If you could not, just say a grade. What's good, Joe?
Parks and Recreation is better than The Office in every single way, and this list is a 10 out of 10, even though I haven't seen The Boys. Let's go.
And
Damn.
Damn.
oop.
Ryan's getting a -3 from me, and that's what
That's
I'm going to
fine.
say.
That's fine. Your score
No
doesn't average.
explanation, and I love it. God, bring us home. If you have a hot take, say it. What's the grade?
I'll give Ryan a 9 out of 10. Never saw Parks and Rec, never saw The Boys, never saw Community, but Twilight Zone, Avatar, Stranger Things. This is top to bottom, a team that's going to get a lot of votes.
Hey, you know what? Look, I agree with that, and it's funny because I like you. I haven't seen The Boys, which is probably appalling to people that know that me and you like comic book superhero stuff. But this is a really good list. I'm really excited to see how it's going to play out. Dibes, you were the last pick in the draft, and I will say this: I thought Fresh Prince would fall, and I was so mistaken. So good job. You got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the first round. Seinfeld, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You got the X-Files, Lost, and Big Bang Theory. I think the nerds will be with you. I think people that just think shows are funny will be with you. And also, I think the X-Files was an underrated pick to diversify your list. I will give you, my friend, I'll give you a 10, man. I'll give you a 10. All of these shows have cult followings, and all of these shows have made their mark on television history. That's what I'll say. Ryan, what you got? Hot takes? What's the grade?
Bro, I'll be straight up with you. This is a 9. I think Fresh Prince is a little high personally. I feel like it could have fallen a little bit more, but now that you know that Low is going to take it sooner than later, I guess it's better that you took it first. I'm funny for me. I absolutely adore that show and really wanted it on my list. I was going to take X-Files instead of the Twilight Zone, but you stole that from me. I think The Big Bang is a little overrated, and I'm just finished the first season of Lost, and it's great so far. So
Epic. Zach, what do you think, man? Hot takes only. If not, just give us the grade.
I mean, this is a 9. The only thing, though, Deebs, is I really kind of wish there was more variety on this, because this is mostly sitcoms, is what I'm seeing, aside from the X-Files and Lost, which is just dramatized Survivor, basically. That's all Lost is. But basically, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, these sitcoms are good. I mean, none of them are as good as Friends, in my opinion. But you know, it's a solid list. I think it'll do really well.
Did Zach just downvote Dives to up his Survivor pick?
yep. And oop.
Anyways,
I don't know what
Ryan
you're talking
H.
about.
Ryan H. Hot takes only. If not, what's the grade?
I was texting with Coyle, and It's Always Sunny and X-Files were on my list of the next 2 to pick when it was coming up, and he snagged both of them back to back. So the middle of his draft, in my opinion, is really good. X-Files is nostalgic for me. I think it comes down to his last 2 picks, whether or not anybody's going to really have known or watched those consistently. I still give it a 9.5 though.
Nice. So our resident from the UK in the movie Matrix team, he said, always me in Philadelphia, instant 10 just for that.
That's so bad.
I was pretty sure that was a typo. Formal, what you got? Hot take?
Right.
If not, what's the grade?
All right, only 2 shows on this I like, even though I get why people like them, but I don't like them. But I like Fresh Prince and X-Files. X-Files gave us Bryan Cranston into Breaking Bad. Without that X-Files, we would not have Breaking Bad. But either way, I really salute the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air pick. So on that, I would say 9.5.
High praise. High praise. Joe, what you got?
J.J. Abrams supremacy, 10 out of 10.
Amanda
boy.
from
Go
the
ahead.
6.
Oh
What
boy.
you got, man?
Dives
said.
has one of my favorite lists. I'm so upset that you took Fresh Prince and Sunny from me, but this is an amazing list. There are so many fan bases, and you hit everything. Dive, I'm giving you a 10 out of 10 because it's like one of my favorite lists. I love it so much, man. So congrats on choosing the best of the best. Seriously.
Best of the best.
Dives, bring us home, man. How do you feel about your team? What would you grade yourself?
I don't think I've ever gotten a positive review from Amanda, to be honest. I'm kind of like thrown off a little bit. But this is the recipe of the entire Diebler draft. I go for things that people love. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, people love it. Seinfeld, there's a definite demographic for Seinfeld. Always Sunny. X-Files is a more personal choice, but I think there's also a demographic for it. Lost is terrific, like you said, Joe. J.J. Abrams, baby. And Big Bang Theory, I've never even seen. However,
Don't admit it.
No.
However, Big Bang, it was, I went back and forth with another, but like I wanted to get like Avatar, The Last Airbender was already taking. I wanted an animated show. You already took X-Men, the animated series. I wasn't going to take Family Guy. It really came down to, what gets votes. And Big Bang Theory is like one of the most popular TV shows of all time. Sheldon, Jim Parsons, that character alone, I think could get me votes if I throw that hashtag out there. I went the Alita route, so we'll see.
Hey, I'm glad you made that, Dives. Hey, so real quick, I just want to say thank you, everybody, all of you guys that drafted. This was awesome. This was really fun. Shout outs to all the Nickelodeon shows that I didn't have the heart to pick. Rugrats, Doug Funny, I'm looking at you, Legends of the Hidden Temple, all that.
Drake and Josh.
Hey, Drake and
Shout out to
Josh.
Jimmy
You know what I mean?
Neutron.
Like, you guys just didn't make the cut, but shout out to all those great, wonderful Nickelodeon squads. If you haven't already, please follow everybody down below. Formal Review, Ryan H., Joe, Amanda Reviews, follow Candid Cinema, Mr. Crockpot's got The Painted Lines, Zach Goller, he's got his own YouTube channel. That guy is awesome. Ryan, he's at Just Ryan again. He's also at Ryan. What's your new show called? Right Guy?
You put me on the shot. Fuck.
Good Guy, right?
Bro, I got so many shows. Which one, bro? I got so many.
The one where you torture yourself by drinking hot sauce.
Bro, don't start me with that. That was the most painful shit of my life, bro. I don't know how I'm not blind right now.
It made
Hey,
my
I
day.
respect that, Rye.
Bro, I
Hey,
couldn't
no matter
feel
what,
my eye
Joe,
for an hour.
make sure you guys follow moviesmatrix.com. Follow Movies Matrix Pod at Twitter. That's our Down the Rabbit Hole pod that happens every Sunday when there's not a draft like this happening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, everybody that's on this show. Love you guys. Good night.
And I
Bye.